BBL Sony. BBL Sony. Ooh, BBL Sony. Yeah, they just announced the PlayStation 5 Pro. I still have a fucking PS3. I can't even get a hold of a PS5, let alone a PS fucking 4, dude. Oh, that's wild, dude. Let's watch the trailer. Let's react to this. Everyone's making a big stink about it right now, so like, I don't know. Let's see let's see what the big hubbub is, bub. Hey, hosted by Mark Cerny. I don't think that's the announcement trailer, but I want to know what the tech specs are. You know, see if it's worth it. I'll never get a hold of one. Fuck it, let's do it. Fuck it, we ball.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console.
Okay, listen. I can't take this at all serious. Okay, listen. I'm sorry. I gotta stop. How many seconds did we make it in? 9 fucking seconds. Who is this? Who is this Dana Carvey ass looking guy on the screen? I'm sorry. I don't mean to roast this poor fella. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh no, Mark Cerny, I'm sorry. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Oh, he looks just like Dana Carvey. Oh man. Oh, I'm bullying this guy. I'm so sorry. I'm just so fucking Dana. Even the glasses. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, my stomach hurts. Oh, my tummy. Oh, I'm gonna have abs by the end of this. Oh, dear sweet Lord baby Jesus Christ in heaven. Fuck it, let's watch the rest of this. I'm sorry. Dana Carvey has. He might not turtly enough for the turtle club. Oh my god. Party on, Garth. Party on, Wayne. I'm sorry, Mark. Continue.
Console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro, and how it
What's
advances
the big
gaming
deal?
technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the
This is
original
way too
PlayStation
loud.
5 and how it delivers an exceptional gaming experience.
Oh, really?
When PS5 debuted in 2020, it brought a lot to the table.
Damn. It's already been 4 years? Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Why are we looking at balls?
8 Zen 2 CPU cores
Okay, here
form
we
the
go.
brains of PlayStation 5.
Zen 2 CPU cores. Okay. I'm gonna need to do some research on that because I don't know too much about the CPU cores. I'm interested in the technical specs, but I can't sit here and honestly tell you. He could be saying gobbledygook, and I probably wouldn't be able to say too. Sony's taking a lot of L's lately. So in good faith, although I just roasted this poor Mark Cerny guy here, Mark Cerny, if you ever watch this video, me being a lowly YouTuber with 36 subscribers, I'm sorry for roasting you there. You do look like Dana Carvey right now. I'm sorry. you look like Garth in his later years. But yeah, no, listen. I'm gonna research this either during this video or probably afterwards to see how these specs hold up. Cause I'm not big on specificity when it comes to hardware. You know, how fast is it? Oh, how many cores do you have? How many hertz? How many hertz you getting? Megahertz you getting out of your cores? I do overclock some of my devices, but I do them to certain standards that friends assist me with. Listen, I have a 3060 RTX. What? Let me double check. A GeForce 3060, yeah. And I have a 10 core, um, Jesus Christ, what is it? 10 core. My brain just completely died there. You know, honestly, I'm thinking too much. My ADHD brain is not going to be able to keep up with this. Let's just watch the rest of this fucking video.
And enable high-speed complex gameplay, with character counts reaching into the hundreds.
Yeah, and it does look fantastic, to be honest.
And frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames a second. PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU.
Oh, I remember watching this video originally. Okay, if anyone ever saw this video, I think this was like, what, in the Unreal Engine or something? Where they were just showing these insane graphical details here.
To
And yeah, honestly, to be fair, the PS5 does look fucking gorgeous in times. It reminds me when I first saw the PS3. The first game I ever saw in person and played in person was Demon Souls. Okay, side tangent. You know, here's the part of the video that's the ADHD part, which I'm sure you're all becoming accustomed to at this point. Who cares? It pads out the video a little bit. Anyway, I really wish we get... Hey, Sony, if any Sony exec or Mark Cerny, again, sorry for the jokes, sees this video, stop making these stupid videos about the text of your console game. How about you release Demon Souls on PC finally? How about you give us that? Yo, where is the PC port for Bloodborne and Demon Souls, my guy? I'm barking up the wrong tree with that. Sorry. Moving on.
fantastic worlds with vast panoramas to explore. Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or glass.
Yeah. I know nothing about ray tracing as well. That's another thing. I've tried to understand what ray tracing is. I'm not a technical savvy person. I'm an IT worker IRL, but none of those IT worker stuff really transfers over into understanding interactions like these. It's mostly troubleshooting at the end of the day, so although I am a tech-savvy person, I'm not a person that's deep into the actual documentation and implementation of said, features and whatnot. I put the brain in the robot,
And the realism that comes from real-time global illumination.
It's fucking gorgeous, man.
Custom SSD can load data at breathtaking speed,
So
resulting
they have solid-state drives, huh? Okay. I don't really follow too much of the current console generations. I mostly play on my PC, and I'm trying to get caught up on my vast library of like Xbox 360 games, as you've all noticed, and PlayStation 3 games, which I completely missed out on. A lot of those are on Steam nowadays, so I'm not really concerned with that. I'm mostly concerned with like games that are console locked right now. But that's cool that they're implementing solid state drives, because that does result in much faster loading screens and times and consoles and whatnot.
in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds.
Oh wow. Oh, all right.
And data streaming rates so high.
Okay, those Spider-Man games are on my list. As some of you that know me in real life, I fucking love Spider-Man. But my favorite part of the Spider-Man universes has always been Venom. So I've seen gameplay footage, but I've gone out of my way to never watch people complete the Spider-Man games, the Miles Morales ones, on the PS5 and PS4, because I do intend, maybe I'll buy this PS5 Pro if they sell me on it a little bit. I'll do it just to play the Spider-Man games, because they look really, really good, unless they're already out on Steam. If they are, I really don't know. Folks, I'm really fucking broke right now. I can't be buying all this shit. I don't make YouTube money. I work a day job. I work a 9 to 5. Oh, Christ.
That traversal speeds are essentially
Damn, it's
unlimited.
boring, so.
You okay? I'm working on it.
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion to the sound of the games.
Scrum diddly umptious.
With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where
It's
they
too
are.
real. It's real to me,
Finally,
damn it. It's real to me.
DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game.
I don't really care about that much. Okay, listen, there's one thing that really bugs me about video games sometimes. It's this haptic feedback stuff. That's not something I really need. Like, a simple vibration rumble controller is fine enough for me. I don't need too much else to give me that kind of feedback. If I need more than that, I'll go buy a VR helmet. But even then, it's probably not going to be that advanced. That must explain why... Have controllers always... Let's go back here for a sec. Hang on. Have controllers always been this expensive? I don't remember them being so expensive when I was a kid. Like, buying a 360 controller felt like it was so much cheaper back in the day. Nowadays, I gotta dish out what is the price of a new game to get another fucking controller. Am I just going crazy, or has this been always a thing? I swear to God, maybe I'm just used to buying the second party, third party fucking Mad Catz controllers all the time from freaking Goodwill. Because again, I grew up poor as shit, people. Let's be honest. That, like, I see these prices on these controllers, and it absolutely is bonkers.
Hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game.
Okay.
It's wonderful to see such variety and richness of game experiences.
Thanks, Garth.
Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance.
Okay.
The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes.
Wait.
It can be a difficult choice for players.
Okay.
Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering.
Yeah.
These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing.
Okay.
But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier, and the controls less responsive.
It's a good trade-off sometimes, okay, I'm gonna drop a really spicy opinion here. I don't think frame rates matter. There, I said it. You may not agree with me. You're perfectly fine to. Honestly, leave a comment below if you think frame rates really do matter. Why do they matter to you? To me, they've never truly mattered unless it dips below 25 frames per second. Anything below 25 frames per second is a noticeable difference to me. It's like, that's like slideshows frames per second. But 30, like, when you get to 30 frames per second, I can barely tell the difference. Now, there are some games that I, like, when I play them in 30 frames per second, like Dynasty Warriors 9, oh, baby, that is buttery smooth, great gameplay. But there are some games that I don't need it to be past 30. It's not that important. There are some games that actually work better, in my opinion, on 30 frames per second. Things like Fire Emblem, games like, maybe an RTS would work better in 60 frames per second. I don't know. I'm not an expert RTS player. The best RTS game that I love to play the most is Civilization. I like casual shit. I'm a filthy, dirty casual, everybody. So sue me. And then games that, are stuck at 30 frames per second, obviously would not, like, for fighting games, that wouldn't work. It's on I view frame rates on a case-by-case basis. Disagree with me? Like I said, I don't delete any comments unless you're dropping gamer words down there or anything, so I read them all. Drop me a comment, like the video or hate the video. I'm not downvote it, I guess. Subscribe if you like it, but I just don't think it's. We've become this culture. The ADHD side tangent again, everybody. Sorry, I'm a fucking neurodivergent fuck. So, fucking sue me. Anyway, no, it's for real. The We've become so fixated on this, like, oh, dude, are you getting the maximum frame ratage that you possibly can get on this game? No, you're not getting 25,000 frames per second in Fortnite. No, you filthy, dirty console peasant. And it's like, no. Why do we need to be like that? Why is it important? You know, back to my point. I think in niche cases it's important. In other niche cases it is not. It's a case by case thing. But, you know, like, why do we gotta focus on that? Why don't we focus on, if the game looks like it runs pretty good, who cares if it's 30 frames per second? As long as it looks gorgeous and as long as it plays, and as long as the most important thing remains intact, and that is the integrity of the story and how it plays out. To me, that's the most important part of the game, besides the gameplay. Like, you know, if the frame rate's dipping so bad that the story is unplayable, then you fucked up, obviously. But, you know, I really don't need this 120 frames per second. Sorry, the side tangent's over. We're watching the rest of the video.
Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run 60 frames per second. Mainly by reducing the graphical detail
I like the
until those
side-by-side.
frame rates can be...
Okay, anybody else out here, tell me, do you really see a difference? Maybe it's how it moves when it's choppy.
When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer. To do that,
I mean, that's kind of the never-ending battle of PC gamers. You know, I'm constantly upgrading my equipment. I got this 3060 at the tail end of, you know, that huge, like, you know, Bitcoin boom, where somebody basically used this to mine a shit ton of Bitcoins, and I got it for $200 when he's paid like $2,000 for it. So, that's fun, I guess, but eventually I'm going to need to upgrade this if I want to play any of the newer games. Or, you know, if I want to keep doing what I'm doing right now with emulators, and you know, I'm eventually going to need to upgrade. So, yeah, that makes sense. Consoles eventually need to start bridging that gap of fidelity and performance. That goes without saying, yeah. So, what's his point?
PS5 Pro substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3.
Did he say
AI-driven
upscaling?
The Big...
Trigger. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's stupid joke.
3. First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses. The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster.
Well, that's pretty good.
Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5. And finally, we
That's cool. I wish I understood what ray tracing was, to be honest.
added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or
PSSR. Da, comrade. You come join the PSSR.
PSSR for short.
I don't know, man. Sounds like communism to me.
PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the games. Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles, and with the Big 3 involved, the results can be pretty amazing, with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super smooth 60 frames per second.
Okay.
Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier. This goal of delivering almost fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rates has been achieved for a broad set of titles. Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
hold on a sec. That goes hard as fuck. Sorry, I know this is supposed to be with the PS5 Pro, but like the black Spider-Man suit, the Venom suit. Oh, it's so cool.
This goal of
They're
delivering almost
slowly selling
fidelity-like
me on this
graphics and performance
PS5
frame
Pro,
rate
you know.
has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including
If only to
Marvel's
play those
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
2
games, but I'll need to check to see if it's on Steam first.
and Ratchet
Because it
and
might be an
Clank
unnecessary
Rift Apart.
buy.
We can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5.
That's cool.
Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second. What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5.
Crispy.
For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet and Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here
Yeah,
we can
okay, I
see
can
Marvel's
see it.
Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene, including the trees
I
and
can barely
procedural
tell.
cars.
Listen, I know I'm gonna get some shit in the comments if anybody even fucking watches this video, to be honest with you. Who does? If you're watching this video and you're watching it all the way through, thank you so much. I love you. But I also know I'm a very niche, like, YouTuber. I'm just some random ass, like, pngtuber here. So, like, I know I'm just stopping and complaining a whole lot, but, like, I'm looking at this and I'm just not seeing the difference here.
So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games.
Tell us
On
some more,
PS5
Dana
Pro,
Carvey.
We can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the big three showing their value.
Hey, wait a minute. That's not Dragon Ball Z and or Naruto and or Bleach.
As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon Forbidden West. Apart from the detail boost, that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements to lighting and visual effects.
Never was
as
a big
well
fan
as
of
to
the
hair
Horizon
and the
series.
skin in cinematics.
Open up, guys. Jorv's orders.
Good enough for me.
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well, particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates. The faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference.
Okay.
Allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay, while continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second. That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy.
Aw, yeah. Okay, listen. Another side tangent rant. I think now is the perfect time for me to say that I do want to play Hogwarts Legacy. The only reason why I haven't even touched that game is because of how nihilistically irresponsible people have been to streamers when that game was initially released. I think we're good on that, to be honest. I don't think we need to like watch any more of that. And honestly, it looks pretty good, but the fact is, here's my huge big brain take on this. Sony, how about you make it to where people can actually fucking afford your console before coming out with this PS5 Pro? Like, I went to a Walmart to see how much the PS5 Pro was. It's like $700 to $800 fucking dollars. I'll just upgrade my PC at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy fuck. Like, first get a hold of your fucking games you're trying to put out with fucking Concord and shit. Like, y'all are putting out these fucking online hero shooters, these games as a services, and you're trying to double, triple, quadruple down on them. And then what? What? Canceling them a week later, 2 weeks later? Like, come on, dude. You're gonna try to instill some goodwill back in your customers by releasing a new PS5 console? Excuse me. I don't know, man. Come on, man. Doesn't sound good, man. Whatever. This video got a little bit more heated. I went a little bit more raw on this one, so. Oh well. Once again, everybody, I make copyright-free music. If you look in the link down below, you'll be able to see a link for that. So we're going to finish off the rest of this music with one of the songs from that album. I do hope you have a great rest of your day. If you like the video, press like. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment below. If I pissed you off, you know what? Tell me what pissed you off. I don't care. I read all the comments. I'll comment back on you. Well. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.